Single reporting for Media Man Australia. We're here at the International Boat Show, and we've discovered Andrew Ettingshausen. Andrew, great to see you here.
Yeah, yeah,
well done.
Yeah,
awesome. It's interesting in life. You know, you've got the ripple effect, and one thing leads to the other. So a lot of the Australian sporting world, and I guess the global media sports world, we know you from the football. But correct me if I'm wrong. For another Sharks.
Another Sharks, you're right.
Wing.
Wing centre fullback for them, so I've played all over the place.
Mate, awesome. So very capable, well prepared for the dangers of the seas. It's like you do what you need to do.
Exactly.
So tackling, catching, directing traffic, you name it.
That's right, exactly. You've got to have a game plan when you're out fishing just as well.
Mate, great stuff. So we saw you on the billing. What's been your journey? So you went from the sports, but with ocean and boats. How early in life, what was the chain of events that led you, with your love of the ocean and the sea, and now you're involved in a professional type of way with the boating? How did that all come about?
Well, I was very fortunate. My grandparents lived on a tidal waterfront on the central coast of New South Wales.
Oh, nice.
So all my school holidays I spent dragging the old tinny out across the mud flats and fishing, prawning, crabbing, all that sort of stuff with all my other young cousins. So that got me right into the fishing. That got me done,
Great stuff.
A fishing fanatic.
Were you already kicking around a footy back then?
I was too, yeah. So I'd be doing footy or fishing. They were the two things I love.
Like crossovers, but not quite what do you call it? Decathlon.
That's
but
right.
You were still doing like crossover sports / lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So every spare moment, instead of going whacking a golf ball, I'd go out and cast a rod.
Right. So, and what is the official name of your main fishing lifestyle show these days?
It's Escape Fishing with ET. And
Yes.
It's on the 10 network, so 10 Bold and Channel 10. And we're on pretty much every weekend of the year. So if you track us down, we're there.
No, great stuff. They the powers that be at the International Boat Show, they showcase some of that. We sort of joined a few dots, and the fishing show. Andrew's here. We get it. So we got dragged along here, and we're very pleased. It's like we've got to get back to the real work. Like there's real work involved in fishing,
There is.
getting barnacles off the boat or putting bait on the hook. But to do these like media day to the public, and then you've got to get back to what do you want to? In the army, we call it like grunt work.
Yeah, that's it. Back to the hard yakka, which will be. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have fantastic boats and all the right gear, but it's been a long time of foraging ahead and making sure that I do the right thing by the companies and get them all on board. We're coming up to start filming our 25th year on television. In 2 weeks' time is our first show. I'll be up in Queensland filming.
Right.
And so 25 years in television, I can't complain.
Unreal. That brings me to a question I was speaking to our producer with offline. Only a small percentage of professional athletes and even semi-professional athletes are ever able to sort of turn it around, going from sports to sort of sports media, to have a more sustainable sort of career. If you don't mind sharing with our audience, what do you think the main one or couple of things were that saw you go through that barrier to make that transition along? So after your days on the field were starting to wind down, you got it to the next phase and were able to have a sustainable career. What do you think the one or two things that saw you being able to do that?
Well, I think, I had a passion for the rugby league that I played, and so, anything you do with passion or anything that you actually love doing, you're going to have success with it. And that's pretty much, the story of life. If you do something that you love, or you're going to do it the best you possibly can, you're going to have fun doing it. And so, pretty much for me, when I'd have a day off training, I'd go off fishing. And I remember bumping into, Rex Hunt. Rexy Hunt. He took myself and Tony Lockett Plugger up to the Northern Territory for a week of fishing. So we were fishing away, having a great time. And at the end of the day, we were in the pool having a beer and swimming around. And Rexy said to me, "Well, E.T., how do you like my office?" And I said, "Rex, this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
And so it wasn't that long later, I put a lot of proposals together and sent them out everywhere. And then next minute, one of the networks came back and said, "Hey, we're happy to run with you." And so my last year of footy every Wednesday was my fishing day. So I'd fly out Tuesday night after training, film all day Wednesday, and that was broadcast. And then Channel 9 took it on and Channel 10.
So some of them, maybe you're in a circle, and maybe a few others at the channels that they might have had more than a suspicion that you sort of really like the fishing. So maybe they were, let's look at his proposal. Let's see where he's going with this. Maybe we can do something with it, sort of thing.
Yep, exactly. And 25 years later, we're still going.
All right, awesome. And on to a bit of a commercial now. Keep all these guys happy. I'm looking at signs. We've got I see Ram. I got the American Connect.
Ram are out here in Australia.
Are
so
they?
it's an Australian Yep, Australian. So what they
Oh,
do,
wow.
they bring the American truck over, then
Oh, yeah.
they change like 300 parts to make it the Australian version, basically.
Compliant,
So,
compliant,
compliance,
so they pass the law.
Yeah. So Hobie kayaks and these beautiful Surtees boats.
Yeah.
Honda, mate. I've got a pile of them.
All right.
Let me tell you, they're all great companies
All right.
to deal with and work with.
Okay, cool. And I'm also just thinking now, before we wrap it up, a bit of a fishing story. Now, the biggest fish or the one or two fishes that you're most proud of, you could include the one that got away and the one that didn't get away. So what one or two fishes on your adventures are you're most pleased with?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot that have got away over the years, so there's plenty in that category.
Yeah.
But probably a big marlin I caught out of a trailer boat half a dozen years ago, about 6 years ago. Boat similar size, a monster marlin up around that 1,000 pounds. So
how big?
13 foot, probably that wide.
Wow. That is enough to feed an army, and
monster.
enough to feed a Channel 10 or Channel 9 news crew, maybe for a week.
100%. I'll tell you what, it was a big fish.
Yeah.
So that was a great fish to catch, and even last week I dropped a really big flathead. So I'm kind of going, but every time you drop a fish, I mean, at least you're doing the right thing. You're in with a chance, and it's good to see the fish have a chance as well.
All right, great stuff. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad you're the one that didn't get away. We spotted you earlier. We saw you in the thing. I kept on telling you, we've got to get back to let us speak to it. So, Andrew, mate, pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.
Good to meet you.
All the best with the rest of your career.
Cheers, mate.
And, mate, I'm sure we're going to be hearing more from you.
Good stuff.
Great stuff. Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, mate, thanks.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.